Welcome everybody, François JdrD30, and today I will ramble about the fact that I am guilty of many faults that I did in the past, and I'm working hard to redeem myself since a couple of times, but I want to state out my crimes, my game mastering crimes that I have made throughout the years. So yes, my honor, I have been guilty of many faults as a game master. I have been guilty of fudging the dice rolls. Oh yes, I did this. I thought that it was in favor of the story. I thought that it was convenient to do so. But I realized at some point that it was just making the game a little more dull. It removed the excitement, and yeah, it felt unreal at some point. It felt useless to have rules. It felt just a role-playing game where everything I had in mind was taking place with no surprises, where the characters were succeeding more than they should. Yes, I was guilty of that. Now, I never fudge dice rolls. And to show your honor that I have redeemed myself, I open roll in front of the game master screen all the time. You can see the excitement in the eyes of the players when my dice are rolling on the table, and my games are way better. I have been guilty of not listening to the players. Yeah. Oh, I did that when I was younger. Yeah, that made some unhappy games, frustrations around the table. I was not listening to the players. I was just putting in front my game master's agenda without taking care of what the players wanted with their character, what they wanted to achieve. I should have listened more to them. It would have spiced up my game master's life way more. And yeah, I would have had more memories. All right, now, my honor, to show that I have redeemed myself, I don't prepare the scenarios as I did before. I mostly sandbox. I just take a couple of notes just to make sure that what I will offer have some coherence, but the rest is shaped by what the players will do, and I listen to them in order to achieve that. Yes. Oh, I have been guilty of railroading way too much. Yeah, a little railroading doesn't hurt. But yeah, in my younger age, no, I could have decided that this was to happen, and it was happening, whatever the price. So it felt unnatural. Another occasion to make unhappy sessions, like the same of the last fault I've told you. I don't prepare as much. I let the outcome unfold itself while playing. I'm even able to do that now in one-shots and conventions. I don't prepare much. I see what happens, and I just redirect when needed, but it's all inspired by what the players will do. I've been guilty of demanding too much from the players in order to learn the setting. Okay? Yeah, I was choosing settings that would please me. Oh, of course, I have to please myself as a game master. But I felt that sometimes the players wasn't up to the setting. They weren't playing accordingly to what made me dream of the setting. Yes. You know, and I was getting frustrated. That is the fault. I was getting frustrated of, you know, seeing that the players didn't have the knowledge that I would like them to have. It just ruined the table ambiance. Okay, it just ruined the tone and the mood of the table. okay, just ruined that. No, not anymore, okay? I make sure that everyone is in tune with the setting, is in tune with what they're expecting from what we're playing. I just, if it's a setting that has lots of documentation about it, I just give the chunk needed for the players in order to play and know what is all around, and the rest, well, I let it unfold. And I choose my settings wisely, okay? I try not to get into deep settings with lots of details. I'm more comfortable with that, and it makes the thing more easy for everyone. I have been guilty of talking too much as a game master. Yes, well, we do talk, often more than the players. Often it's required to make the setting right to start with and to describe some scenes, but I try to talk less. I try to talk less to let the players have more space and describe their stuff. Yeah. Sometimes I was maybe describing in the place of the player what they were doing. And that was wrong. That was wrong. Okay, they're not just there to listen to your genius. They're there to play. And you have to learn from their genius. All the genius that they will bring around the table. So I try to give them more space to talk. Yeah. And it enhance a lot the quality of the game. I have been guilty to fall in love with some NPCs. That love was so strong that I was protecting them with my hand of God. Yes, I felt that those NPCs were bringing a lot to the game, were kind of showing the player. I did want the players to love them as much or hate them as much. Okay? I wanted to have that famous villain that would follow them all their adventure, put them in trouble. I wanted to have that fellow NPC, a kid or anything that the characters would want to protect. And when the danger was there, she would either flee or have the right skill at the right time to save the day. Yeah, an NPC doing the stuff instead of the players. And that was wrong. That was wrong. It removed the star from the player. It removed their shyness. It was kind of another star within the adventure. I was putting so much love into that the intervention of that non-player characters was just taking too much place. Okay, it was removing what the player would do. Now the real stars, my honor, the real stars of the game are the player characters. These are the real stars. Oh, of course, they will beat NPCs that are worth it, but they will have their own destiny. They won't be protected by hand of God, and they won't do the job in the place of the player characters. Only if it's logical, but not just to show that they are there and they're doing their stuff. Oh, I have been guilty of not describing as much as I could some scenes. You know, it was going so fast in my head, and just my words wouldn't follow everything I had in mind. I was setting up a scene, was explaining something. The characters were interacting with what I've said, because that's all they had. And at some point, they were not interacting with the scene or a background the way I expected. I thought that they would understand that some thing in the scene was there, and they weren't interacting with it. And I was frustrated in game. Oh yes, I was young and fool. I was frustrated with that. Oh, it ruined Once again, it ruined the tone of the table when it happened. I had to readjust myself, saying to myself, re-explaining the scene with what now I was expecting from it, and I was sure as a rock that I said it. Yeah, this was just being out with too much of a big ego. I was the game master. I didn't have to repeat myself. Oh, I was a fool. Yes, I make sure to listen to myself when I'm talking. I had redeemed from that a long time ago, but I have been guilty of that in the past, and yeah, it ruined the game tone and the fun of everyone because I was doing that. Oh, I could go like that for hours. We're all guilty of stuff we did in the past. We now try to redeem ourselves from those guilts, those faults and crimes. What are yours? Just talk to the judge in front of you. Try to show him that you try to redeem yourself and be a better game master. And yeah, so feel free to share that with everyone. François Letarte, JdrD30, and up to next time, I hope you have as much fun in your life as in your games. Goodbye.